Hey guys, welcome to AlbyTV. Let's get into story time.
Hello, welcome to story time. Today I'm going to read a story that my mother wrote for me, my two sisters and brother many years ago. It's a story about a rabbit called Honeybunch. This story is called The Ring. One Saturday morning, as Honeybunch was finishing his breakfast, Mother said to him, "Honeybunch, I would like you to take this little coat round to Mrs. Fairytale this morning. It's a present for the new baby." And she held up the dear little blue coat, which she had knitted. "Oh," said Honeybunch, who just loved to wrap up parcels. "Can I wrap it up, please?" "Yes, you may, but don't use all the tape." And Mother gave Honeybunch a sheet of pretty blue paper, and Honeybunch wrapped the little coat up. When he had finished, he took his coat down from the coat peg and set off. As he reached the garden gate, Mother called after him, "Honeybunch, don't forget to ask what the baby's name is." To get to Mrs. Fairytale's cottage, Honeybunch had to cross over a stream, and he did this by stepping on some big, flat stepping stones. Honeybunch often came down to the stream. It was one of his favourite places. Sometimes he paddled in it, sometimes he fished in it, sometimes he sailed boats on it. Sometimes he lay on his tummy and just looked at it, and sometimes he fell in it and got his clothes wet. On this Saturday, when he came to the stream, Honeybunch thought that he would play for a little while. So he carefully put his parcel down on the grass near the stream, and he looked about for a stick which he could float in the water. He soon found one which was just right, and he sailed the stick in the stream and pretended it was a big ship and he was the captain. He played this game for some time. Then the stick got caught in some watercress which was growing at the edge of the stream, and Honeybunch bent down to set it free again. As he did so, he saw something lying on the pebbles at the bottom of the stream. It was quite small, round and shiny. He put his paw into the water and lifted it out. It sparkled in the sunshine, and Honeybunch became quite excited when he saw what he held. "Why, it's a ring," he said. "It's a gold wedding ring, just like Mother wears." Then Honeybunch said to himself, "I must take the ring straight home. Someone has lost it, and Mother will know what to do about it." He took out his handkerchief, put the ring in one of the corners, and tied a knot over it as firmly as he could. "There now, it should be quite safe there," he said. "And first of all, I mustn't forget to take the present to Mrs. Fairytale." He quickly picked up the parcel, skipped over the stream on the stepping stones, and very soon came to Mrs. Fairytale's cottage. As Honeybunch hurried up the garden path, he heard a noise which made him stop in surprise, prick his ears up. It was the sound of crying, but it didn't sound like a baby crying. It sounded like lots of big rabbits crying, and it came from Mrs. Fairytale's kitchen window. "What's this all about?" he thought. He ran up to the back door, which was open, and he looked inside. There he saw Mrs. Fairytale surrounded by her 5 little daughters. They were all sobbing at the kitchen table. The new baby was fast asleep in the carry cot. "Oh, goodness, they're going to wake the baby up." "Shh," said Honeybunch, and they all stopped crying and looked up. Then Honeybunch felt a bit uncomfortable. After all, it wasn't quite the thing to do, to look into someone else's kitchen and say, "Shh." I mean good morning," said Honeybunch. Is something wrong?" "Oh, Honeybunch," said Mary Lou, who was the eldest of the little daughters, "Mother has lost her gold wedding ring. We've looked everywhere for it and we can't find it." and she sobbed again into a little wet handkerchief. "Oh, do come in, Honeybunch," said Mrs. Fairytale tearfully. We're so upset that I've lost my ring. Oh dear, where can it be?" Well, of course, you can guess what happened next. Honeybunch put down his parcel, pulled out his handkerchief. He put it on the table in front of Mrs. Fairytale and undid the knot. And there it was, the beautiful gold wedding ring. It certainly was hers, because it fitted her left paw exactly. Then everyone was happy and excited. Honeybunch told them he had found it in the stream by the watercress, and Mrs. Fairytale said it must have slipped off when she had gone there to get watercress for Mr. Fairytale's sandwiches. Mr. Fairytale took watercress sandwiches to work every day for his lunch. Mrs. Fairytale put her ring on again, and Honeybunch gave her the present for the new baby. "What a beautiful little coat," she said. "Thank you very much, Honeybunch. It's just what Edward needs." Then Mary Lou and her little sisters admired the blue coat. The baby woke up, and Honeybunch admired the baby. The baby's eyes were very blue, just matching the colour of his little new coat. Then they all had a glass of carrot juice before Honeybunch went home again to tell Mother about how he had found Mrs. Fairytale's wedding ring in the stream, beside the stepping stones. "My," said Mother, "what an exciting morning you've had," as she started to lay the table for dinner. "Mother," said Honeybunch, "you've forgotten to ask me something." "What is that?" replied Mother. "You've forgotten to ask me what the baby's name is," replied Honeybunch. "Oh, so I have," said Mother. "And what is the baby's name?" "It's Edward," said Honeybunch. And then he went to swing on the swing till lunchtime. And that is the end of that story. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.